Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be doing a general reading for the mutable earth sign of Virgo. Before we get to the actual reading though, I'd like to take a moment to look at the astrological correspondences to the mutable earth sign. Before we get to those cards, which you see right here, I'd like to share the card from the Stories Oracle from the 8th house. This is the constellation for Virgo, which is why I really like these cards. And the question up here might resonate with you, it might not, but it kind of gives you like a little bit of insight and inspiration, just something to think about. The question this card asks is, what if you were sovereign unto yourself? Now, I'll be honest, when I saw that card and I asked the question, looked at the question, I wasn't really sure how sovereign worked. But when it comes to that particular question, it kind of poses the question of, are you being fair to yourself? Are you holding on to things that may have occurred in the past and not really forgiving them or letting them go? It kind of relates to judgment of the tarot, holding on to things that might no longer serve you and being too hard on yourself, not trusting yourself enough and not trusting your intuition enough to make your dreams a reality. So that's just a question you can ask yourself and really think about, is if you're being fair to yourself and you're being true to yourself and showing yourself the love and compassion that you deserve. We'll move this card over to the side. Then we'll take a look at the astrological correspondences before we get to the general reading. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We'll start with him first, which is the soldier that is not afraid of a little bit of boring and mundane work in order to achieve his goals. This card represents the first two decans of Virgo, which is about August 20th, 21st to about September 10th. So that's the illustration we see here is from the Tarot of the New Vision, which is much like the Rider-Waite that we all know and love. But in this one, you can kind of see another aspect that you wouldn't see from the original. You clearly see over here that there's a bull, or just a cow, pulling a trough or helping the other character plow the field. Now, that kind of gives me like a Taurus energy, the bull over here, and kind of suggests this little idea that you don't have to do everything on your own. The knight here is very ready to plant his seeds and grow his garden, but there's work being done by somebody else too. So you don't necessarily have to do everything on your own. You can ask for help as well. But whatever you do, there's going to be boring and mundane situations to it or aspects to it, but you got to keep going if you are to achieve success with your goals. We'll get to the major arcana in a minute, but first we'll get with the other court card that's astrologically connected to Virgo. This is the Queen of Swords, which also relates to the first two decans of Libra, so we will meet her again in that video. But this, the Queen of Swords is also astrologically connected to the third decan of Virgo, which is about September 11th to September 20th, 21st. And the card I've chosen to share for this one is the Queen of Swords from the Titanic Tarot. And this is Elsie Bowerman, that's the character on this card, who was a survivor of the Titanic, as well as a lawyer and a political rights activist. The reason that I shared this card from the Titanic Tarot is because the Queen of Swords is someone that the card represents, someone that's had a hard time in the past, has learned a lot and had a lot of experiences that might not have been all that great, but it's that knowledge and wisdom that she has learned from and taken with her that makes her be able to lead in the present. So the Titanic is definitely one of those situations where it was a definite tragedy. Many, many, many lives were lost. But from that experience, we have learned so much, at the very least, how not to run a cruise ship. You need to have enough lifeboats. You need to have a pair of binoculars or whatever they use. And you need to pay attention to what's out there. We have learned that from that painful experience. And I feel like that's the energy of the Queen of Swords, You've experienced a lot of pain in the past, perhaps, but it's that pain that gives you the strength in the present to keep going and to make better decisions moving forward. The minor arcana astrologically connected to Virgo are these three cards down here. We have the first decan, which is represented by the Eight of Pentacles, the second decan, which is represented by the Nine of Coins, which is the Pentacle suit as well, and the Ten of Pentacles, which brings up the third decan of Virgo. So the Eight of Pentacles is from the Star Tarot, and it's astrologically connected to the first decan of Virgo from about August 20th, 21st to about September 1st or August 30th. And I've chosen this illustration from the Star Tarot because I feel like it really connects pretty well with the Wheel of Fortune, and showing the hard work and effort that you put in to achieve your goals will help you find success with it. You can see some of these stars are colored in while some of them aren't, giving the idea that the work is not quite done yet. You have, like, it's a card of success and wealth because it's an 8, but there's still much work to be done before you can actually achieve your goals and spin the wheel to the next chapter. So this is kind of like, it's a card of importance of working hard to achieve your goals, which is much like the Knight of Pentacles that we met a moment ago, as he knows the importance of working hard as well. And when it comes to hard work and effort, like, even if it's something you love to do, there's likely still going to be reasons that it's boring and mundane at times. But if you want to achieve and succeed at what you're trying to do, then you have to be willing to put in the hard work and effort, even if the work gets boring and mundane, in order to find success with it. The Nine of Coins, Nine of Pentacles, as it's known in that deck, is the card from the newest deck from Patrick Valencia and the Deviant Moon universe, from the Tryon Della Luna with illustrated pips. And honestly, I've chosen this card just because I think it is the most beautiful Nine of Coins I've ever seen in my entire life. I love her outfit. I love the color of these cards. Yeah, well, you've watched my videos before. You know I absolutely love Patrick Valencia's artwork. So that's why I've chosen this card. But it definitely gives that idea, you know, after you've worked really hard and put in the effort, you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. And that's what this card represents. You know, being able to stand on your own 2 feet and feeling successful in your life in order, like, to buy whatever you want or purchase whatever you want and really feel grounded and comfortable in your material life. And that card is astrologically connected to the second decan of Virgo, which is about September 1st to September 10th. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, which comes from the Shadowland Tarot. And I've chosen this card because I feel like it shows the strong connection to nature that the earthy signs have, more so than the other signs. And the tree shows the roots that go into the ground and the strong foundation that you possess, not just from the generations of family that you still have in your life, because this is considered a card of generations of family coming together to celebrate, but I've always more chosen to see this card as a card of ancestors and past lives and being the descendant of something more. Not just the lives that are here with you today, but the lives that are still inside of you that have helped to make you who you are today. The blood that runs through your veins, the past lives that you might have lived, the ancestors that you somewhat know the history about that have helped give you life. There's also the energy, since it's a 10, it's a completion, which brings it back to the Wheel of Fortune of the Major Arcana, and having the opportunity to begin something new because you found success in the past. So that's kind of the energy of these 3 cards here: working hard to achieve your goals, feeling successful and able to purchase whatever you want, financially capable and successful, and feeling completion and being able to achieve your goals. So there's kind of a law of attraction idea right there, where if you're willing to work hard and you see yourself succeeding, like you feel as though you are worthy of this 9 of Coins, of that success, then you can achieve it and you can complete your goals of this 10. That brings us to the Major Arcana card, astrologically connected to Virgo. So this is the card that just represents all 3 decans. It's the August 20th, 21st to September 20th kind of card, and it's the Hermit. I've chosen the card from the Hermit from the Modern Love Tarot by Ethany, because I really love this illustration. And I did mention, like with the Knight of Pentacles here, you can see the other character working there, and it is important to know that you can ask for help if you need it, or you can collaborate with others in order to achieve your goals too. But the Hermit is always a reminder, I feel, to take the time to look within, spend some time in solitude, and get to know yourself, because you are far more capable of anything than you can imagine, as long as you believe in yourself and set your mind to what you want to achieve. So that brings us back to this question of, maybe I kind of get the feeling that you doubt yourself a little bit too much, and if you're going to achieve your goals, then you have to have the confidence to make it happen. So are you being fair to yourself, Virgo, or are you doubting yourself and having anxiety about the future a little bit too much? That's just the astrological connections to Virgo. That's not the actual reading. So we're going to get these cards out of the way, and then we will see what the cards have to share with you. The deck we'll be using for your reading, Virgo, is the Light Seers Tarot from Chris Ann. And I've chosen this deck because I believe it's one of the most beautiful decks in my collection. And if there's any sign that really knows the importance of beauty, it's you, Virgo. So we'll shuffle the cards like I've been doing. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know this is my go-to way to shuffle. Because, well, these cards in particular are rather flimsy. I don't have a problem with that. You can see that the cards are still very much not warped or anything, so it's not a big deal. But this way, well, I suck at shuffling to begin with, so that's a big reason that I do this. This way you kind of can get your energy into the cards and ask the specific questions you might have. But as this is just the general reading for you, Virgo, there aren't any specific questions. But what I would like to do as we shuffle the deck is to thank the cards for answering our questions and for sharing their messages of insight, empowerment, and inspiration with you. So nothing in particular that we are asking for. All we ask is that you share whatever you want to share, and that's what we want to hear. And we greatly appreciate you doing so. As this is just the general reading, Virgo, it may resonate with you, it may not. But I have the crystals surrounding the cards, which I will share with you before we get to the cards, that connect with the energy of Virgo. So hopefully this message can share some insight, empowerment, and inspiration to help you to overcome whatever past might be hurting you, or letting go of any grudges you might be holding to, and being fair to yourself and forgiving whoever might have hurt you. That question just keeps coming up for me. Okay, that's the shuffle of the deck. So we've already cut it. We just need to stack them back on top of each other. And then we have a full complete deck again. Before we get to the cards though, let's see what crystals we have connected to them, okay? Snowflake Obsidian, Raw Amazonite, or Rough Amazonite, Amethyst, Chrysocolla, Halite, Green Aventurine, Mookite, and Chariot. And those are just the crystals that I use to connect with Virgo. You might know more. If you want to let me know in the comments different crystals for Virgo, please feel free to do so. Okay, now we'll get to the actual cards. And I'll shuffle or spread out the deck like this. And we'll choose 3 at random. Turn this over, and we have an extra card at the bottom. Shows the bottom of the deck. Actually, turn that one over. Okay, you have a little bit of a negative cards there, Virgo. Because the Tower is definitely, well, I feel one of the most negative cards of the tarot. But with the other cards that we see here, there is a positive look here and a positive outcome. Well, that's up to you. You had the power to create your destiny. There's nobody else going to do it for you. You have to believe in yourself. So let's start with the 8 of Swords over here. As this is a member of the sword suit, the card that can show other people making you feel like a prisoner in your life, but there's a very good chance that your own mind is what is working against you, which refers back to this card of what if you were sovereign unto yourself, which what about your past might be holding you prisoner, what doubt or anxiety might be keeping you feeling trapped in your life, unable to move forward. We have that energy of the 8 of Swords right here, which relates back to that 8 of Pentacles, where it shows success and wealth are possible, but you have to let go of this doubt and this anxiety you might have and stop feeling like a prisoner in your life. The illustration we see here kind of suggests that the character is looking in the mirror. So the person that's staring back at you in the mirror maybe you don't believe in that person enough to actually go after your dreams. If there's any like hatred or just disbelief when you look in the mirror and you don't like that person that's looking back at you, then there's a good chance that you can't achieve your goals because you don't believe in yourself enough to make them happen. And as I said, this is a member of the sword suit, so it's the suit of the mind. So it's likely your mind is what is keeping you feeling like a prisoner here. The Devil is the second card to be drawn, which, like the Tower, is a rather negative card. Which 15, 16, they go side by side in the sequence of the major arcana. And the Devil is a card of vices and addictions that might be keeping you prisoner in your life, much like the Eight of Swords over here. But the illustration we see here is a very captivating dude. Like, those eyes. Yeah, this is one of my favorite Devil cards because that guy just looks so enticing and so pleasing, and it gives you that desire to want to follow him. But as we can see down here in the illustration, that person might be the one pulling the strings and causing you the stress and stuff in your life. So there might be, like I keep saying, that it's the suit of the mind over here, so it's your own mind working against you, but the Devil appearing here as well gives me the idea that it might be somebody else's opinions or words being said to you that might be making you feel like you can't move forward. Or it might be those television shows, or the food you eat, or anything, like something that makes you feel like you're trapped in your life. That might be what needs to go in order for you to find success and for you to truly believe in yourself to make your dreams a reality. The Tower follows the Devil here, so it brings up your 3-card reading. And like I said, this is just a general reading. I don't have any specific questions. So the way these cards are set up, they might go in order, they might not. But following the Devil here, which it follows it in the sequence, it's not necessarily a negative thing. Yes, the Tower does have that very negative connotation and might be the darkest card of the deck, because instead of the Death card, where it's like we have endings that are technically we have control over, the Tower represents endings that come with we have no control over. The universe knows what's best for us, and like the illustration suggests with the lightning coming down, it's just meant to be. We cannot control this ending. We have to let what needs to die and come to an end. So when the Tower collapses, and perhaps with this Eight of Swords and Devil appearing, it's the Tower of doubt, insecurity, and anxiety about moving forward. When that collapses, you're able to move forward with confidence, to learn from the past, and able to grow your dreams in the present. In the illustration of the Tower that we see here, we can clearly see butterflies rising up from the collapse, which gives me the idea of change and transformation. So you have this thought of, if you're in the present right now thinking that you're a prisoner in your life, looking at that reflection in the mirror and thinking, I can't do this, I'm not enough, that's what needs to come to an end. Perhaps it's something from the universe that causes a collapse to make you leave that doubt behind, and leave, if there's someone causing you to feel this way in your life, to be able to leave them behind. Definitely with these 2 cards that are rather negative appearing here with the Eight of Swords, I see this as a freeing opportunity. You're able to walk away from those negative feelings or those grudges and that doubt, and be able to begin a new path, learning from the past, much like that Queen of Swords we met earlier, with learning from the past and using that painful experiences and stuff to be able to take control in the present and learn perhaps what not to do or what needs done differently in order to succeed. That brings us to the bottom of the deck, which shares the Eight of Pentacles. And I always like to share the card at the bottom of the deck because I feel like it either shows an overall energy of the reading, or just at the very least like another message of insight that you can use to make the best of your life. In the Page of Pentacles, all pages are considered much like the aces of the minor arcana, which they represent beginnings, not quite yet tangible, but the idea behind the action. And following these cards right here, which you have the feeling like a prisoner, addictions, vices, or other people causing you to feel trapped in your life, and a collapse coming, perhaps, then the page shows the new opportunity and the new beginning that awaits you. Pages of the tarot aren't necessarily connected to any specific sign or planet. but they represent the energy of the suit of the element they relate to. So this page definitely relates to you, Virgo, as it is the Page of Pentacles, which relates to Earth. So this message, I feel, is very empowering despite the darkness that we have here and here. It shows if you free yourself, you stop feeling trapped by the situations of the past or trapped by your own mind filling you with doubt, and you let that tower collapse, that tower of doubt and insecurity collapse, and you free yourself from that inner devil that wants to keep you a prisoner, you can begin any path you want. So this is the Page of Pentacles, so it relates to earthly happiness and material success. So that shows the opportunity you have to begin something new when you leave that doubt and insecurity and even the addictions and vices behind. So this tower just shows, in order to begin something new, you have to stop letting the past hold you back. You might need a tower to collapse, some kind of form of what's been holding you back come to an end in order to find the confidence to begin again. As this is just a general reading, Virgo, as I said, it may resonate with you, it may not. If it does resonate with you and you'd like a little bit more to go on, then feel free to comment on this video, send me a message on any of the socials, or book a reading straight from my website. I'll leave all those descriptions down below, as well as a list of all the places you can buy these decks, purchase these decks for your own collection if that's something you want to do. But this is just a general reading, so I truly hope that you enjoyed it and it shared some kind of inspiration and empowerment to make you believe in yourself and go after your dreams. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one.